He say, "What's tainting in the valley?"
What's tainted? What's tainted in the valley? Finally see football, lots on the way. Train your Sundays, every single play. This rock don't dilly dally. It's what's tainted in the valley.
What's up? Welcome back to What's Tainting in the Valley. It's your host Chuck. We got a lot to talk about. Little different pod. We're gonna have a little different. Normally we have a guest. We're gonna run this one solo. I was thinking about it. I had a couple guests that I talked to. We had some scheduling difficulties. People were doing stuff. Could have got it done, but I haven't had a solo appearance yet. And we also didn't have an episode last week, which I guess was partially my fault because I've been sick. My daughter's been sick. My wife's been sick. Also, I kind of like the bi-weekly thing we got going on in the middle of the season. It was awesome beginning of the season because a lot of stuff mattered and there were so many moving parts, different teams finding themselves, letting everybody kind of settle into their place. I think middle of the season we can get away with this bi-weekly thing we got going on. At least until we start getting into playoff talk. Because once we start getting into those later, like last 4 weeks of the season and playoffs become like on the horizon, we're going to have to grind the calculators and, really figure out playoff possibilities, buy situations, matchups, and then go from there. But until then, I'm liking the idea of the bi-weekly, unless something big happens and we just got to hop on and talk about it. And it makes it easier for everybody else not having to worry about hopping on as a guest, things like that. So, and, with this being a solo episode, we can, probably going to be a little shorter. We're still going to cover some decent content here because there's a lot that happened in the last 2 weeks. It was a pretty action-packed couple of weeks here. So let's pull up my screen. All right. So we can cover 2 weeks here. I'm going to just gloss over week 7. We'll talk about it quick. We're not going to go bananas into going through it. We had a couple pretty decent matchups, a couple that went down pretty close to the end. Me and Billy, me versus Billy. I beat Billy. Kind of expected that, to be honest. Nothing against Bill. He was I was gonna say he wasn't playing his best team, but he low key kind of was. Just off week for Bill. Zach versus Squat. This game was decently close, if I remember correctly. Drake May, stud. Squat, you want to call him a homer for picking up Drake May. It's like his boy, his hometown team. But he's performing. And, there's nothing better. I wouldn't know what that feels like to be able to draft a player on your team, on your fantasy team, especially a quarterback, that, is a intricate part of it. Yes, I have Garrett Wilson, and I have had Garrett Wilson in the past, and I think even going back to early fantasy, pretty sure I had Sean Green in 2009, Thomas Jones. I think LT in 2010 was a waiver guy. I remember picking him up. Or drafting him, dropping him, and repicking him up at some point in the season. Regardless, Jets fans don't normally have that type of don't have the ability to really use other than the defense, which has actually been a pretty decent option in the last couple of years, not this one. We don't really have anybody that we can take from our hometown team and that you can cheer on in fanhood and fantasy. It's we don't get the crossover. So I am low-key kind of jealous of that. I also think Drake May is a really good quarterback. He wasn't the pick from that draft for me. It was always Jaden Daniels, and if you talk to Mike Mondo, I was talking about Jaden Daniels before college football season started. That last year that he got drafted. Here's his junior season, I guess. He was the guy I really wanted. I wanted the Jets to trade up for him. I was actually hoping Jaden Daniels was going to slide. That was the plan, and then he just kind of went off and had like a bananas year. I was hoping he wasn't going to have that good of a year because then we would be able to grab him. But it is what it is. Went off on a tangent there. Zach won. Zach is back. Watch out. That's all I'm saying. Zach is back. This is the declaration right here. He's back. He's a dog. He's got a matchup this week. We'll talk about that later. Chris falling again. You hate to see it. Mondo, the buzzsaw, had an absolute banger last week. Did okay this week, but he only had to put up 122 because Chris's team has been having trouble finding the points. We had him on the previous podcast. He loves his team. It's just he sells it well, and I understand it. I feel for him, and I want to buy. I want to be a buyer. I want to buy Adam Taintler. But maybe, just maybe, this is the fantasy gods coming back at him, coming back to oppress him for not using a dead celebrity, unless he knows something about Adam Sandler that we don't. So until we're proven otherwise, I think Chris needs to prove it. Joe handily beating Kyle. Kyle's team has been like a low key disappointment. Just it's not even because of the team. Like his team hasn't performed very well this year. It's because we expect so much from Kyle. He's become the perennial. He is your, 2006 to 2020 New England Patriots. Like you just expect him to be there. You always expect him to win the division and put up lots of points and just waltz into the playoffs and have a chance to go to win the game or to win the championship. That's what you expect from Kyle. And I'm low key a little disappointed. For as a spectator of the sport, as somebody who's competing against him, praying for your downfall. But as somebody who enjoys the parody and just following the sport and the different storylines that we've come to, I guess, craft within this league, I want to see him have success. So I hate to see it, but I like to see it for Joe. Joe needed a bounce back, and that's what you do. You take down somebody like Kyle. You go after him. Sean is a buzzsaw, dude. Like Alex put up 156. That's like a heartbreaker. And like I can't even it sucks. Alex put up 156 with his two running backs combining for 13.4 points. That's nuts. And his kicker only having 2. Wow. Keenan Allen have a day. Oh, this was a big Tucker Craft game. I remember this was that Thursday Night Football, right? Or Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football. It was a night football. Yeah, John's a buzzsaw, dude. Christian McCaffrey just stays just being him. And it sucks so much. For everybody else, good for Sean, Good for Sean. But Sean is just a wagon. He's a buzzsaw. He's a well-oiled machine. Stay out of his way. Let's go to this week. That was last week. So that was week 7. This is now week 8. This is the last week. Mondo trounced me. I got absolutely just bent over and paddled and paddled and paddled like a child who misbehaved. It's just, I got beat. I also put up a bad week, but there was no universe. It sounds like copium. I'm not really you'll get a 180 point game from me like once a year. I think I had that already. You're not going to have that from me twice. And my team was worked. We had a lot of guys on bye. We had a lot of guys on injury. Mondo did too, but I had backups that were injured. Like that was the worst part. So it was I was really feeling it. And we've talked about Mondo's team being an S tier team in this league. He's a top competitor. He's full blown. Like he's a real team and he's a real opportunity to take this in the playoffs. I know he's confident about it too. That's the part that's scary. when Mondo's reverse tainting, it's not a big deal because like you expect him to reverse taint. A confident Mondo is a scary Mondo, and I think everybody should be wary of that because he's almost always reverse tainting. So you know his team is good. Billy falls to Zach. Zach is a wagon. Zach is a wagon. I've said it. His team's set to turn around on the back of Daniel Jones himself, Indiana Jones, carrying Steve Taintwin to the promised land. Billy only has. I don't even want to do that. I'll do the calculation for what Billy's points against is like per week. It's crazy. Every week he's just getting bangers dropped on him. But yeah, Zach has a really good team, and I he's climbing that ladder, baby. Don't look out. I would look out for Zach. Don't sleep on him. Chris with a bounce back week against Joe, nail biter, close game. Chris is only projected for 105 this week. We should point that out. And he had obviously guys who were on bye. He had big dogs. Amon Ra was on bye. Nico Collins was out. I don't think he played last game. David Montgomery, Brian Thomas Jr., Baker Mayfield. So he was kind of pieced together a squad to take on a really good team in Joe. And Joe's team just dropped the ball. You hate to see Cam Scatterbo go down. Bless up, rest up. I'm a Jets fan, but I always root for the Giants when I can, as long as it doesn't do anything to hurt the Jets vibes. And Scatterbo is like awesome. Like he's a guy you want to cheer for. So sucks to see him go down like that. Cameron Dicker, 15-point banger. Love to see that. Kyle with his get back to Alex. Again, this is the Kyle we're used to seeing. The 140 to 145 points. It's there. It's possible. He has the team to do it. With the Jackson Dart start, crazy, but you know what? The guy, he puts up points. He throws touchdowns. And he runs for touchdowns. Like that's a good fantasy quarterback. That's what you want. Alex, you know, getting 145 dropped on his head is not good for his points against narrative. Tucker Kraft, brother, this guy is bananas. 33 points. I knew he had a game, but I didn't expect that. Sheesh. Sean, we're gonna skip that. Just kidding. We'll talk about it because Squat would get butthurt if I don't. Sean's a wagon, and Squat took it to him. Jesus, I told you I'm sick. 125 or 124.6. Not like a huge week for Squat. It's not like he necessarily went out and pummeled Sean, but he did what he had to. That's what you want. You want to put up. You show me 125 a week, I'm happy. Like that's a good week. If I can get 125 every single week, I'm getting to the playoffs, and there's an opportunity for me to win one or two games and win a championship. So that's what you want to see from your boys. Sean's team didn't show up. Christian McCaffrey, nothing burger. Tony Pollard, nothing burger. So he had to pop out. Who was on bye? Jahmyr Gibbs, yeah. Patrick Mahomes had a really good game. 31 points. Woo, sheesh. Where did he really drop the ball? I guess his two bell cow running backs. I mean, Xavier Worthy with a 10 spot, like not good, but could be way worse, Chris Olave could be way worse. 14 points is great. What are we talking about? That's fine. Show me 14 points. You have a spot on my team every week. Travis Kelce had a good game. Zay Flowers, all respects, had a good game. Ooh, yeah, 30 points allowed for Chicago defense. I guess I mean, the math, just the scores don't really look that bad for Squat's team. And then, like I said, Drake May. I talked about him. I hate it because he's a Patriot, but I like it because he's a likable guy. I like the way he plays the game, and I get why Squat likes him, and he likes to play him because he gets to. You have fanhood and fantasy. I'm always one to separate it. I never like to have that fantasy to fanhood crossover, but it's something I've yearned for since I've started playing fantasy sports in like 2000, I don't know, 2004, 2005. I've always wanted it, and I never really had the opportunity to. I guess like Brandon Marshall and stuff could like, but that's not like the star quarterback for your team, like the guy. Sucks. Really sucks. Chase Brown against the Jets. I was watching that game for obvious reasons, and I just every time Chase Brown had a run or caught a pass, I was just like, man, Squat's probably so stoked right now. And I watched him go for the 2 touchdowns. He's probably so stoked. That's all I could think about. Like, honestly, I did. Anytime Chase Brown touched the ball, all I was thinking about was Jimmy, and just how happy he was because he loves Chase Brown. He loves that guy. Loves him. He wanted him. All he would talk about pre-draft was Chase Brown, Chase Brown, and he got him. I wanted him too, and he's just put up nothing. He put up points last week, I think. Yeah, 12 points last week, but he's really been like not super effective. And he went off and he had a game, so I'm happy for that. I'm happy to see that. Since we don't have a guest this week, and we've been doing like the whole tier list thing, I want to make a tier list. I want my own tier list. I don't want anybody else to influence my decisions. I wanted to do on my own, and I want to put these teams where I think they should go. That's what we're doing here. Oh, I'm not going to start. Oh no, this is what I wanted. I got to make these landscape crop. How does that work? There we go. I'm gonna make my own tier list. I want to be able to control the narrative, and I want to pick what teams I think are good, not you guys. I feel like I get bullied. Yeah, I want it's the pod. I want everybody to make their own tier list. I want my own. We're gonna start with you know what? Start from the top. I already said it. Mondo is an S tier team, and I'm gonna do this too. Sean, S tier team. These are the only 2 S tier teams, and I think this margin between S and A is huge. I don't think it's big. Like it might as well be SB CDA or CD F whatever. These 2 teams are far and away way better than everybody else, and I honestly don't think it's particularly close. I'm gonna go myself now because I do genuinely believe I have a good team. I think I have a great team. I think I've showed that. Also, like I have the highest points for. It's getting close now. Sean made it interesting. Mondo's also right there too. I have the highest points for. I think my team is good. I think I've earned the opportunity to say that I have an A team. And I'm gonna put myself there. I'm not an S. If you last week, after I won, I would have put myself up in S. I would have. But I needed the reality check that was this week of having just a stinker and getting my teeth kicked in repeatedly by Mondo to understand that I need something to look forward to. I can't become complacent thinking I'm at the top. I need to chase. I'm a dog. I need something to chase. And I'm going to chase those 2. Let's go with Squat. It's such a weird Squat's team. I want to hate it. I want to love it. I want to hate it. I want to love it. I want to hate it. I want to love it. I'm so back and forth. I'm going to put him at B for now. And this isn't because I think he deserves to be in B necessarily. It's because I want to let the board fill out. I might go back and move him around later. But as it stands, I think he has a team that could be an A team, but I also think he has a team that can be a C team. And that's the part that's troubling with his squad. And you got to remember the manager. He's not a very good sit start guy. And that's a thing. That is a big thing. We'll go with Billy. I hate to do this, man. I want Billy's team to be good. I think everybody wants to see Billy win. I want to see him climb this ladder. 1,176 points for over 8 weeks. So quick maths, 1,176 divided by 8. 147 points a week? That's not right, is it? Oh my god. Whoever wins the league should give Billy like $50. That's crazy. That's nuts. Mondo might not even get 1,156 points against in the whole season scored against him. And Billy has that in 8 weeks. That sucks. His points for is not very good, right? His points for is the lowest. But the points against is just, that's pain. Getting one win out of that. I mean, I'm going to put Billy down here, but I'm going to put in parentheses that I feel bad because I do. I don't think he deserves it. But I mean, you only have one win, and you're like in last by a pretty. You're 2 games in last place at this point. Wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams 4-4. That's crazy. More than half the league at 4-4. Alex is C tier. I don't think I really need to explain that much. Just points against Merchant, got to win more. Like that's it. I think his team, new Chris, put him at D. I think Billy is the only D team. Like I wish I could have like a lower than C but higher than D type thing. I'm gonna put Kyle. I'm gonna put Kyle in B. He's in 4th. He's got a pretty good points for. I don't love the team. I don't love the team, especially now he's Scattaboo going down. He wasn't able to get Tyrone Tracy, if I remember correctly. I think Alex did. Going high C. Now he's going low B. He's going B. New Chris is going to be in C above Alex. Got to prove it. I had him on the pod. He loves his team. I want to buy his team. I'm all for it. The way he describes them is magical. Like I damn near shed a tear in last week's episode, the way he was describing his guys. I only wish that I could have somebody ride so hard for me. I can't buy it until I see the results. That's it. Can't do it. Joe's team. All right, here's what I'm doing. Joe's going in B. I think he's above Kyle. I think Squat is an A tier team. I said it. I was again. He has a team that could be an A tier team, but it can also be a C tier team or even a D tier team. We've seen the 70-point weeks, but that's the problem. It's not the team; it's the manager. If Squat doesn't have to use his brain, he has an A tier team. If he has to think and start moving and clicking and turning switches and pulling levers and putting guys from the bench into positions to play, that team is a C tier team. That's the wild card. Like I want to make a separate tier. Like I want to put Squat twice. I'm going to put Squat twice. He's on there twice because you have one where he is like the guy who's managing the team and has to make the decisions, and then there's other ones where he isn't. So Squat's on there twice because he needs to be. Because his team is either A tier team or it's a C tier team. Saving the best for last. Been really thinking in the back of my mind, what am I going to do with Zach? You talked to me 4 weeks ago. Zach was in the gutter. Zach was in with Billy on the feel bad tier. I don't feel bad for Zach anymore. As a matter of fact, I feel great for Zach. I think this team he's got the boys buzzing, firing on all cylinders. By all accounts, this is a team to watch out for. This is a team that will make a push late, and I don't think he's going to go in at a high seed. I think he'll get into the playoffs. I think he's going to get in at like a 4 or 5. I don't think he's going to squeak in. I think he will get in on a 4 or 5. He might go into the last week as like the 4 seed and they get bumped to the 5. I can see that happening, but he is going to go in to the playoffs, and he's not going to be a 6 seed. I think he's going to be higher than that. I think he's going to cause some problems for a lot of teams. He has a good team. He's a scary team on paper that can do damage, and he's a dog. So not the feel bad tier, not the C tier, right where he belongs. In the A tier. A tier Zach is back. Do I put him above Squat? I don't know. I don't think I could do that yet. I'm going to give Jimmy his flowers right now. I'm going to let him have it because he's split. Because we know that this is the in between that you're going to get. So this is my final tier list. I'm going to I could just screenshot it, but I'm going to take a picture of it because I can send it in the text message chat. Easier without emailing it to myself. That is my tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. It's the best tier list that you're gonna see. It's the only correct one. I don't even know how far off that was compared, like relative to the standings. I mean, it probably was close, but it is what it is. Let's look at next week. I'm playing Alex. You know, I said some shit about Alex this go around. Probably gonna bite me in the ass. Usually does when you say shit like that, but it is what it is. He's got Tyrone Tracy. Picked him up off waivers. Paid a lot of money for him. Paid like 800 bands. Not 800 bands. $800. Um, I bid on him. Bit like I think I bid $500. I really wanted him. Thought that was going to be a move. It wasn't. And I got again just a lot of guys on bye and a lot of guys that are injured. Like I have to play Chuba Hubbard this week, which I'm not excited for. I scooped up Tank Bigsby. I don't know why, but I did just to have him. Um, we'll see what happens. I like my chances this week. I'm not even trying to reverse taint. Gentie's got a favorable matchup. Jacobs has a favorable matchup. Lamar Jackson has a favorable matchup in a comeback game. Keenan Allen has DJ Moore, like Tucker Craft. You go down the list. This team is everybody has a favorite. He is a favorable matchup everywhere. It's hard for me to like want to pick against him. I like Rashee Rice against Buffalo. Washington or the Seattle against Washington. That's not going to be a cakewalk game. You know, Jaden Daniels, the Commanders against the Seahawks again. It's like Chuba Hubbard against the Packers. I think for that reason, I'm going to go with Alex. I think it's not reverse taint. Like this is me like stepping back, third person podcaster hat on. I just think that he has more favorable matchups for his. I like my team. This is not against my team. I just think that his matchups are a little more favorable. So I'm going to go with him. Zach versus Mondo. This. Oop, my headset died. Mondo shouldn't lose this game. I don't expect him to lose this game. Everybody's Zach's got everybody down, right? Oh no. Zach could win this game. He's just gotta replace Terry. Terry's hurt. Who's gonna throw in here? Rashid Shaheed? Oh boy. Oh boy. Let me pop Drake London. Yeah, oh boy. Yeah, Mondo shouldn't lose this game, but don't count on Zach. Man, A-tier Zach is back. Like crack. Mondo by at least 20. Tier Mondo. Chris versus Sean. Kind of the same situation that we just talked about with Zach and Mondo. Just you're playing a buzzsaw. It's not as much against Chris as it is for Sean. Top to bottom, just a banger team. That's really it. Sean by at least 20. Like easy predictions right now. Squat versus the Saquon less Kyle. Who's he going to start running back? Pop Ramondre up there, and then okay, you got a lot of options. This game's the predictions meaningless to even out. I glaze Squat pretty hard. So here we go. Here comes the decision. Is he going to start Bill? Is he going to start Rico Dowdle? Or is Cortland Sutton going to get put in the mix here? I don't think so. I think he's going to lean on projections here. But you have a very interesting opportunity in your flex with T-Mac and then with Kenneth Walker. You have an opportunity. Bill against the Seahawks is not a terrible matchup. Cortland Sutton against Houston, that one might not be as good. It's not a great matchup, actually. We'll see. We'll see if he makes any changes. He can. It's not the worst. It's not the worst. Because it is if Nico Collins is playing, that's actually okay. That's actually a pretty good matchup. And Rico Dowdle's been doing Rico Dowdle things against Green Bay is kind of tough. But there is a universe. So Squad could fuck up. I'm gonna say I don't know. I'm gonna go with Kyle. Jonathan Taylor is gonna have a good, and I think Jordan Addison's gonna have a breakout game. He's due for one. I really like Jordan Addison. He's one of my favorite players in the league, and it doesn't have anything to do with his drunk driving. Last matchup: Billy First Joe. I don't know what to say here. Billy has Achan and Bijan Robinson and is 1-7. I've picked Billy to bounce back every week, and I'm gonna pick him again. Or should I not pick him? I'm gonna pick Joe. On paper, Joe's a good team. And favorable matchups. Again, you gotta ride the favorable matchup sometimes. Josh Allen loves to play versus the Chiefs. Taylor Swift is gonna be in attendance. Gotta show up and show out for the Queen. I think Joe's gonna win by like 10. I think this is gonna be like a 135 to 125 situation. Sorry, Bill. I pick you every week to bounce back. You never do, so I'm gonna pick somebody else. That is about gonna wrap it up for me. I think I covered just about everything. It was a great episode. My light went away, so I'm a little dark now. Now I'm a little bright. Just want to thank everybody for tuning in again. Solo pod this time. We'll have a guest next week or the week after. It depends. Maybe we'll have an episode next week. 100% bi-weekly. I think until we get to the end of the season, I'll start running them every week. It's just, nobody wants to listen to it every week. I don't think so, at least. If you want me to do it every week and you love listening to this shit, tell me, and then I'll just do it. Or I'll just send you a really long 45-minute voice recording if you're the only one who wants it. But I love talking about it, so whatever you guys want to do, just keep me in the loop. Otherwise, thank you. I appreciate listening. Have a great rest of your night. Peace.